Welcome in, guys. It is Brad with College SportsCast, and we are here to do our college football preview first round games. Let's go. Welcome in. It's Brad with College SportsCast. Hammonds, college football playoffs begin tonight.
Yeah, you got Alabama, Oklahoma, and I just want to say something, Brad. Is this not weird for us to not be at night? Like, this is a little bit different. It's a little bit different.
Guys, we are doing this. The volleyball championship was last night. I've got a game that I'm doing tonight. As soon as I get done here, I'm headed to Lexington. And I was out Wednesday night, was doing some Christmas stuff and shopping, and just been a busy week. So we're doing this kind of an odd time, but it is what it is. It's Christmas season.
Yeah.
Tis
the season to be merry.
To be merry, which is one of my favorite sayings.
Hey, that's my name.
All right, guys. If you're on Facebook with us, we appreciate you, man. We are growing and growing. Sign up with us. Do our subscription plan. It's gives you your own page and your own chat, and we're in there chatting with you guys. Got some people in there now and doing a little bit of chatting with you guys daily. And it's only 99 cents a month. That's all it is. Very little out of your income and just a little bit to help us continue to make these shows for you guys. So with that said, we are going to try to kind of get through this fairly quick, but I also want to give it enough time to cover these games and do this right for you. At the top of the screen, there is a QR code. That is for our Real Fresh channel, Bet US code, 3 deposit matches up to 125%. And I'm going to put that up right here so you guys can see that. That is the link. You can scan that QR code. You can get 3 deposit matches up to 125%. This is with the Real Fresh channel and College SportsCast, and we would appreciate if you guys would use our link. All right, I'm going to leave that up on for this show as we are doing this. But John, it is week 17 of season 4, and the bowl season has already started. The college football bowl season has already started. We haven't really done too much. There's not been any real great games in the bowls so far. The LA Bowl was probably one of the better ones between Boise State and Washington.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few this weekend.
Later, next week we might put in a few of the bowl games here, but we are going to mainly do the college football playoff. I do have 5 college basketball games that we're going to talk about and 2 women's college basketball games. And then I have a surprise at the end. We're going to talk about a game that we don't normally talk about here on Game Day Pickles.
Yep.
So it's a big one. It's a big one for us. It's a big one for a national title. I'll give you a little secret on that one. But that's what we're going to end the show on this week. But all right, John, we are going to get started. On the bottom of the screen there, this is our college football playoff preview. And we are just going to do the first round games this week. We are not going to do a full preview. Next week, we will do the quarterfinals, yada, yada. We will do that each week and talk about the semifinals and the championship game and do a preview each time. So, John, tonight, number 9, Alabama, and I'm talking number 9 in the college football playoffs. Number 9, Alabama is at number 8, Oklahoma. These are home games, first round for 5 through 8. That is a big, big deal. And Oklahoma already owns a win over Alabama in the regular season in Tuscaloosa. John, what's your first thoughts on this game?
My biggest question is how is Oklahoma going to score? And it's hard to beat a team twice. We've seen that, with Alabama and Georgia. Georgia beat Alabama last week in the SEC championship. It's tough to beat a team twice, and let's just be honest. So how does Oklahoma score on a really good Alabama defense? Alabama defense has been playing pretty good. They're going through some, struggles of their own. Ty Simpson hasn't played well. He's threw the ball pretty good.
Is he healthy? Is Ty Simpson healthy? That's a good question.
That's another question to kind of look at. Where's he at health-wise? But beyond that, I mean, like I said, it's hard to beat a team twice. And I do think Alabama wins this, but I wouldn't be shocked if Oklahoma wins this.
I mean, you got to remember this game is on the road for Bama. Playing in Norman is going to be a challenge in itself. Those fans are rabid fans, man, and that's going to be a wild place. Looks like I just lost John for a minute, but that's going to be a wild place tonight in Norman, Oklahoma, for a home playoff game here. One of the biggest questions in this game, there's been a ton of chatter ever since the Sharon Moore deal, Moore deal in Michigan. There's been a ton of chatter about a possibility of Kalen DeBoer headed to Michigan. Now, Kalen's put out a statement. He has talked about it in press conference and said he's not doing it. And it's not like stopping the rumors. People are still talking about it. And do you think that's going to be a distraction for this Alabama team?
I don't think so. He put the statement out this past week. I think they're going to be ready to go in this game. Like I said, how does Oklahoma score? They are scoring the fewest points of all the college football playoff teams. And at times, Mateer has looked really, really good, and then there's been times where he has not played great. Now, I will say Oklahoma's defense is really, really good. Now,
it's a real good.
I will tell you, in the Alabama games, Alabama pretty much beat themselves with turnovers. That's what lost these games against Oklahoma was the turnovers. I think they had 3 in the one at Alabama.
I'm going to give you something crazy to think about here. When's the last time Alabama lost to the same team twice in one season?
I read that yesterday. I think it was 1893.
Yeah.
It's been quite a while. So
did y'all hear that? Wait a second. 1893. That it's been since Alabama lost to the same team twice in one season.
I'll say this, Brett. If they play a cleaner game than they played the last 2, I think Alabama goes in there and I think they win this game. But, Ty Simpson is going to have to play better. He had the struggle in the Iron Bowl.
Ryan Williams is going to have to show up and play a little better too.
Ryan Williams has, I don't know, from last year to this year is a totally different player.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a little bit of it's not like he's terrible, but he just hasn't been exceptional like he was last year as a freshman.
He hasn't. He's not been himself.
And they're going to need him to make some plays. I do agree with you that Kalen DeBoer's offense is going to be better than Oklahoma's offense, to be honest with you. Mateer has kind of struggled here after the injury coming back offensively. They've still been winning some games because that defense – here's the thing about Oklahoma, John. Their defense is actually scoring points and setting them up. That's how they're winning these games.
Yeah, they're making plays on the defensive side of the ball. They get, I think, Mason Thomas back, one of their All-American defensive linemen. He's back from injury. Like I told you, Brad, they averaged the fewest points of any college football team. Alabama hasn't looked their best. They had the no-show in Atlanta. They lost to OU.
I have not looked them up. What's the spread in this game, John? Will you look it up real quick? What's the spread?
1.5 Oklahoma.
1.5.
Now, if you look at it from, the whole rim of the game, Alabama dominated the whole stat sheet between the last two games. They had the 3 turnovers. They had the special teams blunders. They had a lot of trouble protecting Ty Simpson. If Alabama's going to win this game, they're going to have to avoid mistakes, and they're going to have to find a way to kind of jumpstart this offense against a really good defense on the road, and that can be tough in a one-game deal.
All right. Before we make an absolute prediction here, I am going to do a prediction here on these games, but before we do that, the winner here gets number 1 Indiana. So it's not like this is some kind of great, you get the toughest team in the nation right now, 13-0, the only undefeated team left after beating Ohio State.
The Heisman winner, Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman winner. You get a really
the AP coach of the year for a second time in a row, Signetti. So, I mean, you get a tough road here.
Yep.
All right, John, prediction time. Alabama, Oklahoma tonight, Friday night, December 19th in the college football playoff. What's your predictions?
I got Alabama. I think Alabama gets it done. I think I've said it last year in the NCAA tournament when Kentucky played Tennessee. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. It's just difficult. And I think
it's hard to beat Alabama twice. They came into Tuscaloosa and won, and I think Alabama owes them one. I'm even going to put a score on this one. I think it's going to be like 27-21.
24-21 Alabama. I just think Bama has a crisper, cleaner offensive game, and I think they do just enough to win this football game.
All right. That is our Alabama and Oklahoma preview. We are going to go to the Saturday games, guys. And by the way, real quick, around the screen, you can see it's Christmas season. We do hope each and every one of you have a happy and Merry Christmas. So just want to put that out there. All right, tomorrow's games. Believe it or not, one of the best games, probably the best actual matchup of the day, is the noon kickoff game tomorrow. And this one is number 10 Miami is at College Station playing number 7 Texas A&M tomorrow at noon, John.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Miami team that is so daggone streaky, Brad. You know, the running game kind of took a step back this year. Their D-line is really, really good. Carson Beck sometimes has inconsistent games. You know, in his 2 losses, he's had 6 interceptions, Brad. You know, A&M's pretty good defensively. Reed has not played really well lately, and I think that will help him being at home. I think the playmaking of Reed, and I feel like the home crowd of the 12th man is going to make a big difference in the game. I feel like the Aggies got a bad deal in this. You know, they play Miami, you know, after dropping the game against Texas. You know, Miami after a, you know, I wouldn't say a bad slump, but they had to fight. They had to really fight their way into the playoff, basically.
Yeah, they did.
Because of the whole Notre Dame situation. Carson Beck has a lot of experience, Brad, in these big games. I just feel like the home crowd is going to be a difference here. It's just which Beck are you going to get? Are you going to get the Beck that has really good numbers, or are you going to have the Beck that goes on the road and just plays average football? So
I mean, there's been a couple of times this year where he's just looked bad and they've lost.
He's not looked
But
good.
but I want to ask you about both teams' defense here because this could be. I know we've got Beck on the on one side here, but this could be a defensive game.
Listen, Brad, you got one of the best pass rushers probably in college football, Cassius Howell. He's so good up front. He's an NFL, probably going to be a top NFL pick. It's a really big matchup. You got Reuben Bain on the other side, Hakeem Messador. This is going to be a trenches type game, I think.
I believe it will be. I believe
I'll say this.
You're going to see these teams go after the quarterback. There's going to be a lot of blitzing. There's probably going to be a lot of sacks in this game.
Miami's run game is kind of worrying me here. You don't get the lack of run game in a game like this. That can be very problematic. You got to be able to run the football some, take the crowd out of the game. Marcel Reed has not played good lately. He's turned the ball over in his last 3 games. That cannot happen in this game. I think this game will come down to who can make less turnovers. The quarterbacks don't have to be all-stars in this game. They just have to do enough to kind of keep the game clean, sort of like the Alabama-Oklahoma game. You're going to have to just, Beck's going to be sitting in the pocket. He's going up against probably the best pass rush in the country. To me, Brad, this feels like a home field advantage, and I think it's going to be too much for Miami. And I think their defense, Texas A&M's defense, is what's going to win this game for them.
I mean, Miami's got a great defense too, and to be honest with you, John, it kind of feels like to me in this game, whoever can put 20, 21 points on the board may have the advantage.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Beck's going to have to avoid the turnover bug if he wants to, move on and move forward in the playoff.
What is the spread in this game, John, by the way?
Spread is 3.5 A&M, which, granted, it's at home. The home team usually gets about 3 points. So
right, yeah, that's true. I think Beck is – with his experience, okay, I think Beck is the difference maker in this game. If Beck plays a solid game and has one of those runs where he completes 13 out of 15 passes or something, and I'm not saying that's his full numbers, but has one of those runs in this game where he does that and he plays at his most exceptional like how he can play, I think Miami could actually go into College Station and win this game. I'm going to pick this one different. Prediction wise, it sounded like, John, you're going to go with A&M and the home crowd here.
The reason I say that is because Texas A&M has sacked the quarterback 41 times this year.
They have.
And if Miami does not control the line of scrimmage, Beck is going to be running for his life.
This is true. This is true. I mean, this is going to be a defensive-minded battle here, and Beck's going to have to step up and play big if Miami – Miami also has a really good wide receiver room here with Beck.
They do. Yeah.
And if he can get them the ball, I'm going to pull the upset on this one and say that number 10 Miami – goes in and gets like a, I don't know, like 24 to 21, 27, 24 win here. That's where I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah,
all right, John.
I'm going to go A&M 28, Miami 21. I think it'll be a touchdown win.
Okay. All right, the next one is the 3:30, 2:30 game, depending whether you're Central or Eastern time tomorrow. This is actually a rematch. I like the Alabama-Oklahoma game. This was played early in the season, about the 3rd or 4th week. There is
I want to say something real quick about this matchup. I love what John Summerall is doing here.
that's going to be a topic that I was going to ask you about for sure. In this
Most
game.
coaches in this situation probably move on most of the time.
Well, so John, let me set it up. Number 11 Tulane is at number 6 Ole Miss, but what you're talking about here is both of these programs are losing their coaches. Both programs. There is a huge difference in what Tulane is going through and what Ole Miss is going through leading up to this college football game. In Oxford, there is a lot of turmoil, turnover, everything else going on because of the coaching change. And the Tulane Green Wave and John Summerall has held everything together. Is that going to make a difference?
I still think it's going to be a big distraction, especially with the calendar the way it is. You got the portal. There's a lot of things kind of moving and jiving. I just don't see Tulane win this game. And I'll tell you why, Brad. They're ranked 123rd in the nation in stopping the pass. And they're playing a quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, who's really explosive. I feel like, Kiffin's a phenomenal play caller in building game plans and calling plays. Ole Miss is going to miss a little bit of this, I think, but probably not in this game. Ole Miss is good at home. They've won 21 of the last 22 at home. Tulane's also, like I said, they're dealing with that head coach situation. Yet he's still coaching this game, which I have a lot of respect for after him moving on to the Florida job. I still think that's a big, big distraction to me.
I just want to say this. The way Lane Kiffin handled this and the way John Summerall handled this.
Two different situations, yeah.
Lane Kiffin needs to learn a few lessons, to be quite honest with you.
I agree with you.
I want to put that out there, to be honest with you. John Summerall is a stand-up guy who wants to leave behind a good program.
A legacy.
And,
I agree.
And
not only that, Brad.
He wants to leave behind a good program. And to be quite honest with you, John, it looks like Lane Kiffin really doesn't care what he leaves behind at Ole Miss.
And not only that, the thing that really – I'm going to get emotional. He gave them NIL money.
Yeah. 100,000. Which doesn't sound like a ton, but for a coach to step up and do that, you don't hear about that often.
In today's world, you don't really see that. No.
Nope.
The spread is 17.5, Brad. This is going to be a tough game for Tulane. I'm going to go Ole Miss 42, Tulane 14. I think it's going to be kind of a mirror image of the first game.
Well, the first game was 45-10, I'm pretty sure, that I was talking about. I do think Ole Miss is going to miss a little bit here. I think this is going to be a lot closer game than the 45-10. I'm going to call this like 35-20 or something like that. It is probably going to be my prediction here. Honestly, John, I'm going to be pulling for Tulane and John Summerall. And as a Kentucky fan, and I'm going to be honest with you, John, like he's going to Florida. I do wish him success outside of playing Kentucky, to be honest with you, and maybe a few others. But I do wish John Summerall the best. I think he is one of the most well-respected guys in the game, coaches, to be honest with you. And I am going to be pulling for Tulane here in this game probably because it's hard. You work all season long, John. I want to say this. You work all season long, including starting in the spring with these guys and your team, and to get all the way here and have a one-loss team and to get to the college football playoff and then walk out the door on these guys honestly, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame, to be honest. So that's my point on this. I do believe Ole Miss will get this in Oxford. I just think they have much more talent, to be honest with you, and that's what's going to win them this game. All right, tomorrow night, we get number 12, James Madison is in Eugene at Oregon to take on number 5, Oregon. And this is the night game tomorrow night. And this one, I mean, the spread on this is 20-something, I believe. Isn't that right, John?
21.5. What really shocks me about this game is there's not been a lot of talk about Oregon.
No,
you know, they was
one lost Oregon team, by the way.
Well, you got to remember, there's a 1 seed last year. They had a bye. They went to the Rose Bowl. They lost to Ohio State. I feel like Dan Lanning has a major chip on his shoulder. You know, they're good at home. You know, listen, they should have beat Indiana. If it wasn't for Fernando Mendoza, they win that game.
That was a close game, by the way. People act like they lost to Indiana by like 40 points or something.
No,
but that's not the
now,
way.
Here's the thing. James Madison is good. You know, I don't want to take anything away from a group of 5 team. They're top 10 in offense. They're top 10 in defense. Listen, the Duke's got a really good running back. Wayne Knight, he's the Sun Belt leading rusher. They've got a really good dual threat quarterback. But I think he's going to have to play crazy for them to win this game. Oregon, to me, has the best run game in the country. You know, if you watch the last 5 or 6 games, Dante Moore is just so good.
So we talked about, you know, some coaches leaving on the last couple that we've done here. Both, you know, James Madison, head coach, is leaving here. They're going to have actually Billy Napier has been hired to come in next year. And then Oregon has lost both coordinators. They are losing. I mean, Kentucky just hired Leftwich, an assistant offensive line guy for them. And I don't know who else they're losing, but coaches-wise, Dan Lanning's not leaving. He's staying there, but they're losing a lot of their staff. Do you think that will matter on either side of this game?
No, I don't think, especially for Oregon, it's more or less coordinators. I think Dan Lanning's going to have them prepared. Now, Bob Chesney, I guess you could say it might be a distraction, but
he's going to UCLA, right? Isn't that where Chesney's going?
Yeah. Not really. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be much for either side. I don't think. Now, they're probably, you know, they're going halfway across the country to an Oregon team that feels slighted, I think. You know, especially after last year against Ohio State, they feel like, you know, they got a chip on their shoulder. They're really good, James Madison. They're good at running the football. They'll play hard. I just think Oregon has too many pros.
Well, I mean, John, let me ask you.
They got Dante Moore, and the wide receiver, the Corian Moore is most likely coming back. Malik Benson, Kenyon Sadiq.
Let me ask you this. Even on the scale of group of 5 football, okay, do you think that the Sun Belt is on the same level as, say, the Mountain West or the AAC? Are they even close to the same? I'm talking about the competition inside their conference. Do you feel like the competition inside the Sun Belt is even close to the competition inside the Mountain West and the AAC?
You might have. No, I don't know.
I'm just going to be honest with you. Even if you compare it to the higher level conferences within the group of 5, group of 6, whatever you want to call it, with the Pac-12 coming in, You know,
But see,
the Sun Belt, the competition, if you look at their schedule, John, James Madison's really played next to nobody of any worth.
here's the problem you got with this James Madison game. You know, James Madison has probably one of the better defenses in the country. You know, their rush defense is really, really good. But you got to remember
again, who have they played? But yes, statistically,
that's what I'm saying. It's been mostly Sunbelt teams. I think Oregon's going to be able to run the football. Dante Moore's going to be able to throw it some. If I had to pick a straight winner this weekend, beyond all these other games, I would pick Oregon.
If you're going like just you want a winner to cash, it's this game right here, to be honest with you. You say the spread is 20.5?
21.5, 21.5.
I mean, honestly, I feel like this is the most lopsided game. I'm going to call it like 42-14 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go 45-17. So I think James Madison will score, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I just think Oregon's got too many weapons.
I just can't see them scoring more than 21, and I believe Oregon will hit 40, to be honest with you, in this game.
I will say this. Shout out to Alonzo Barnett III. He was Sunbelt Player of the Year. He's had 35 touchdowns on the year. He's having a really good year for James Madison. That's a really good.
James Madison is confident. They've been putting stuff out. They feel like they deserve to be there, and kudos to them. I'm not going to sit here like a lot of these people on media and stuff that's bad mouthing James Madison. James Madison got in because the system was set up that way, and they deserved it. The way the system was set up, they deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they got in. I'm not saying the system was right, but how the system was set up, that's how they got in.
Yep.
So go to Eugene, show out. They're confident. I appreciate that. I respect that, to be quite honest with you. So you won't get nothing bad from me. The way the system was, I think you deserve to be there. It sure shouldn't have been Duke. They're the ones that won the ACC. So, I mean, people say, well, they shouldn't have got in over Notre Dame. Well, that's not even the right comparison. Notre Dame would have been an at-large. They got in as a conference winner. That's not even – you can't compare apples and oranges.
No.
I mean, it was just set up that way. So, all right, John, we are going to switch it up. We completed the college football playoff first round games here. We're going to talk about the Champions Classic. This is in Atlanta over the weekend. See, it's Friday, so tomorrow. And there is a men's Champions Classic and there is a women's Champion Classic. So we're going to cover them all here. We're going to start out with Ohio State and North Carolina tomorrow in the Champions Classic for the men's side. John, what is your first thoughts here, Ohio State and North Carolina? I think they're 8-2 for Ohio State, and North Carolina's only got the one loss and ranked.
I like this North Carolina team. I love Caleb Wilson. I think he's one of the top freshmen in the country. UCLA's got a really good team as well. Donovan Dent. I don't know if you've seen the other night, Donovan Dent made a play, just crossed up the guy.
You said UCLA. They're playing Ohio State.
Oh, I'm sorry, UCLA. Ohio State. I thought UCLA was still in here. My bad. That was my fault. Timeout. Coach Diebler. Yeah. Coach Diebler is a really good coach. He's bringing in a young group. They got a bunch of freshmen. They got some transfer guys. I don't really know a whole lot about Ohio State. I haven't really watched them much.
I did look at their record. They are 8-2 on the season.
I haven't really watched a lot of their games. Now, I did see where, North Carolina has been playing really, really well. Caleb Wilson, Trimble has been out. He's not been, he's been hurt. So there's been a lot of injuries with them. But I like North Carolina in this game. I think North Carolina's got a really good basketball team. And I just think the talent of North Carolina will prevail in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Tar Heels in this game too, North Carolina. I mean, this game is played in Atlanta. Just by the way, these are played in Atlanta this weekend. And I think that, North Carolina, I don't believe they are as good as where they are ranked. I think they have lucked out a couple of games, including the Kentucky game, to be quite honest with you. I'm not as big on them, but I do think they have a little bit more talent than the Buckeyes here. So I am going to take North Carolina in this matchup. All right, John, the big one for the Champions Classic. We are going to get to this one. I know this is not one that you said you really wanted to talk about, that you was excited about talking about. But we got St. John's in Kentucky tomorrow. And, I mean, very, very highly anticipated because of the coaches, let's be honest. Did you freeze up on me?
Is this the CBS championship? Is this because there's two classics? You call it the Champion Classic.
Yeah, the Champions Classic.
Yeah, but the Champion Classic was in November.
Well, it's called CBS Champions Classic, I think.
Well, okay. Well, either way, it's still the Champions Classic, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I think it's called the CBS Champions Classic, actually, but
Sports Classic, something like that. Man, this is a weird game. I don't know. This is tough for me because you don't really know what you're going to get. Kentucky's not been great against ranked opponents. This is really their last chance to get a non-conference victory over a ranked team. They've lost 4 games.
it is their last chance
to play for the first time since 2021. Brad, I don't know.
And it's against this former coach. I mean, it's going to be a tough. I don't really understand. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't understand why these two wanted to play this game so bad. Like, I think it would be kind of weird. I wouldn't want to match up. Like, myself, I wouldn't even want to play this game. And both of these coaches seemed like they were so excited about playing this game. Well, somebody's going to go home a loser.
I think it's for the mere fact that it's former Kentucky. It's like a Kentucky thing.
Yeah, but I don't honestly. I'm not excited about it. I'm really not. Like, I wouldn't want to play this game, to be honest with you. I think it's a weird matchup. I wouldn't like it, to be honest. That's my opinion. But here's the deal: Kentucky needs to show up and play in this game. There is a chance. There's been rumors all week. There's been rumors since last week that Jaden Quaintance might actually check in and play in this game for the first time in the 2025-2026 season here. He has been out. He's been out with a knee injury. And to be honest with you, John, it's only been 9 months. People act like this kid should have been back 2 months ago. Okay. It's been 9 months today. His surgery was March 19th. There's not many people come back in 9 months.
An ACL rehab takes some time, and you're not going to be able.
most of the time it's nearly a year before people come back. At least 10, 11, 12 months.
Yeah, it's tough.
It literally has been 9 months today. His surgery was March 19th.
And the thing about it is with him, he's doing, drills. He's getting to be kind of physical. I think they posted a video earlier this week where he dunked the ball, so he's looking kind of physical again. He's getting to that point again. But I think what, Pope mentioned this on the Rothstein podcast, I think earlier today, they're just going to kind of have to ease him into the game. And I think people they're going to have to understand this, is when he plays, he's probably going to be on a time restriction.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's no way. This kid is 9 months removed from an ACL surgery.
You're not just going to swing him back into the fold and expect him to just do what he did last year.
I think you're taking a risk here, with the kid, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I understand wanting to play and working your tail off to try to get back, and I understand all that. But I want to say this, all right? So the last game, second half, Indiana, last weekend, Kentucky showed some fight and showed some hustle, some rebounding. That's what kind of game they're going to have to play here to compete with St. John's.
Well, and to be fair, St. John's has not been great. Their defense has not been great. Now, they have played better as of recent.
They have some good players there.
They do. Dylan Darling is playing really, really well for them right now. They got, Ian Jackson is really good out on the perimeter. So this is not going to be just a gimme type game. You're going to have to go out and win it, I think. And this is, to me, this is one of the better games of the weekend on the men's side. Now, there's a few other games that are going to be pretty good. You got Houston and Arkansas playing.
I think this is going to be a tough one. I'll be honest with you. If we're going to pick this game, unless Kentucky cannot shoot 30%, 35% and win this game. I just don't think.
The thing about, they did that, I think, against Indiana, but let's be fair, Indiana's not a great team. They're not a great –
Kentucky's going to have to hit some shots in this game. And I'm not talking about a bunch of three-pointers. I'm not talking about you're going to have to hit 15 three-pointers.
You're going to have to hit some shots inside the perimeter.
Take the ball inside, but we do need to hit 7, 8 three-pointers. You can't survive on 3 or 4 made three-pointers in a game.
No, that's not with the way they're playing now.
I think we're going to see an improvement, but to be honest with you, I'm actually thinking that this might be another loss, which if it is going to hurt really, really bad, to be honest. And so that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm really not going to pick this game, but I'm a little worried about it, to be honest. All right. There are 3 other games. Hang on. Before I get to that, let's just finish up on the women's side. This is part of the same classic here. Number 16, Louisville plays number 17, Tennessee in this classic.
Mm-hmm.
This is neutral site games here. Louisville is coming off a big win, figured out a way to win somehow in North Carolina on the road. And Tennessee has been a little bit up and down so far this year, have a couple of losses so far. What do you think about this game?
John Roberts is really, really good. She leads Louisville in scoring. She's averaging 13 points a game.
Yeah.
2 assists. Ziegler's playing good. They're the top 3 shooters on this team. They're not afraid to shoot it. I watched against Kentucky. They'll shoot it.
Yeah.
They share the ball. They're really good. They got multiple players on the court. I think 4 players average at least 2 assists a game, I think. They like to get up and move. And then on the other side, Tennessee's not been shooting good.
I think they've been they haven't looked as good as people thought they were going to be.
I think this is an evenly matched game. They're going to have to prove it for me, Brad.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I like the way the Louisville Cardinals on the women's side have been playing lately. They took South Carolina to the very end, only lost by 2. They beat North Carolina, figured out a way to win on the road in overtime. I'm going to pick the Cardinals in this game, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I'm with you. I just think Tennessee's kind of been shaky. Going into SEC play is not. It's going to be tough if the Vols can't figure some things out offensively.
All right, the second one in this same classic, there's 2 games in this one as well, is number 11 Iowa versus number 1 UConn. This was a couple of years ago. This was Caitlin Clark versus Paige Beckers, in a big-time matchup here. That's not quite the same right now, but Iowa is still ranked number 11 here. What do you think on this matchup?
I think I'm going to go with UConn.
UConn's number 1. They're loaded with talent, to be honest with you. But do you think Iowa has a chance to kind of, I don't know, because UConn can blow you out real quickly. So even
Sarah Strong, they went into USC 79-51, basically. That was a season low for USC, which they shot 30% from the field. And UConn's defense is so good this year, Brad. They're stifling, they're smothering. I just don't see a way Iowa can. I'll be honest with you, and I know it's early in December and it's almost Christmas, but I would not be shocked if UConn goes back to back. They're that good.
I think there's a few teams that are just about as good. Texas, maybe LSU. UCLA is probably going to have a chance, to be honest with you. I think there's a few teams that are close, really close. Texas is really, really good. Played really well so far.
Madison Brook, like I said, Oldacre, Roy Harmon.
But in this game, I think I'm going to take the Huskies here. I think they're a better team than Iowa.
Yeah,
so
I just think they're at this point right now. They're just they're dialed in.
Yep. All right, there's 3 games tomorrow on the men's side that I wanted to talk about here. These are all on neutral sites. These are not home or away games for any of these teams. I believe, John, that this one is in New Jersey, I believe, is where this game is played.
It's at the Prudential Center in
number 8 Houston is playing against number 14 Arkansas here. It's a big matchup, and Arkansas has played everybody. They're playing all 8 Elite 8 teams from last season.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Brad. Darius Cuff is so good. He's so good.
Yeah,
he's a 5-star. He can do it all. He's their scoring guy. Brazil's playing really, really good. He's averaging 15 points a game. He's one of the leaders on this team. His presence is really good. Malik Thomas.
Brazil, in my opinion, Brazil shouldn't even be there. This is what, his 6th season or something like that? Like, it's kind of crazy what goes on in sports to me. So,
so the thing is, these teams are real similar, Brad, but they kind of play a different style. You got a team like Arkansas likes to run, and then you got Houston likes to swap it up. Houston's ranked number 2 in the country in scoring defense, which I think is going to be a challenge to Arkansas, because Arkansas likes to do their thing offensively, but Houston likes to get up in your grill. and I think that's going to be a challenge for Arkansas. They're going to try to run this score up, and I think, in most games they would probably take teams up and win these shootouts. But I don't think they can do that against this Houston team. They play completely different.
Yeah, they're very tough defensively. I would be shocked if this is not any high. I mean, it would be like 68, 65 at the highest, to be honest with you, probably in this game. I do not think you'll see a 90-point game by Arkansas here. That's not what I think we'll see in this one, to be honest with you.
I'm with you.
I think you're going to see a lot closer, slower pace defensive game in this one. I'm actually going to take the Cougars here in this one. I believe we'll see the Cougars get the win here.
You know what's interesting fact about this game is DJ Wagner's going back home
to New Jersey. Yeah.
I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's true. All right, John. Number 21, Auburn is taking on Purdue. This is called the Indy Classic or something like that. Indy something. This game is actually played in Indianapolis. It is in Indiana, so it's kind of like a home game for Purdue, but it is a neutral site.
I'll be honest with you, Brad. I'm not a real big fan of this Auburn team.
Purdue's kind of been up and down too, though. I mean, at times they haven't looked good either.
My biggest thing with this Auburn team, they're just not. I don't know how to explain it. They just look overmatched against, it kind of reminds me of Kentucky when they play ranked teams.
Yeah.
They just don't have that one guy that, they got Pettiford, they got the kid from LMU that's down the road from me. I don't know, Brad. This is a weird Auburn team, especially, without having Bruce Pearl. It's a little different seeing somebody on the other sideline.
I mean, his son's there, but Bruce is not. So
it's just a little bit different. There's a lot of new faces on this team, Brad. They had to really reload this team. They brought in Keyshawn Hall, Murphy, Freeman's the guy I was talking about. This is a team with 5 freshmen, and two of those have.
And Purdue is loaded with seniors. This
team has a lot of pieces, but they're still new. You get what I'm saying?
Honestly, this is in Indy. They're going to have the home crowd here. I'm going to take Purdue and Braden Smith.
Yeah, I'm going to take Purdue. I think right now Auburn's just kind of learning on the fly, and they're trying to figure things out. I think they'll be good by the season's over, but right now they kind of remind me of the middle tier of the SEC, to be honest.
Yeah. To be honest with you, if Kentucky don't step up, that might be where they are too.
Yep.
All right. This is a big game tomorrow. This one is in Madison Square Garden, I believe, tomorrow. Number 3, Duke takes on number 19, Texas Tech. Texas Tech is coming off of a tough loss here to Arkansas recently. I'm not sure if that's their last game or not, but recently. And Duke is still undefeated.
I'm telling you, man, Boozer is so good, man.
JT Toppin's really good too, though.
They're 11-0. They're top 10 in Kim Pong. They're very, very tight-knit group. They're in rhythm. Boozer, he's so in control. The thing I don't like about Texas Tech is their defense. Now, their offense is probably one of the tops. They got JT Toppin that has a motor, Brad. He's averaging 21 points a game. Him against Boozer is going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Toppin is really, really good. But Boozer, it feels like all year long, Boozer is going for 30 and 10, 30 and 12. The guy is a number one pick. And I know people are going to say, well, is he better than Cooper Flagg? It's possible.
I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to answer that, but it's close. I can tell you that.
Very close. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think I'm taking
this Texas Tech team.
Unfortunately, I think I'm taking Duke here. I really kind of like this Texas Tech team, but they're kind of. I mean, they could fall out of the top 25 here with a loss. I think it'll be 4 losses for them.
Yeah, they could be right on the outs on that.
Yeah,
they got a really good guard in Christian Anderson. I think he's third in assists. He's really, really good. Atwell Watts is playing really, really well. He had a big game the other night. So this Texas Tech team's really, really good. Now,
they could surprise here and pull the upset. I think they have the talent.
If they had Williams from NC State, I think
if he didn't transfer, man, and he stayed there, this would be one of the top teams.
This is a whole different team.
Yeah. All right, John, we're going to end the show on something we don't normally talk about here, but the national championship game in volleyball is Sunday, and number 3 seed Texas A&M is taking on number 1 seed Kentucky. Kentucky somehow found a way in a game that was a struggle for them last night to pull out a win. And this is an all SEC final for the first time ever in volleyball, women's volleyball.
I'm going to be honest with you, Brad. Texas A&M has no business being in this championship.
They do, because they've knocked off 2 1 seeds, and now they get the third 1 seed.
That's not what I'm getting at. You got to remember, they was down 2 sets to Louisville and done the reverse sweep.
Texas. Just a couple of weeks ago in the SEC tournament, Texas beat them 3-1.
Well, and then they went and they swept Pitt. It feels like there's so many destiny is going around their head.
I want to say this: the Stowers girl on this team for A&M is a heck of a story. She was injured enough that she actually retired from the game.
She did.
She actually retired. And then she transferred, and the other doctors and stuff was examining, looking her out, and found a path to help her heal and do the correct exercises and things of that nature. And this is what first year back.
Their athleticism is really, really good. Their talent, the way I meant, they don't belong. They was all but gone against Louisville. Like, Louisville was on their way.
Yeah.
And they stuck with it. They fought. It sort of reminded me of the Kentucky game last night against against Wisconsin. And I'm going to tell you something I really love about this Kentucky team as we kind of move around with this. Wisconsin played almost a perfect set, the first one. Kentucky looked out of sorts.
Kentucky in the first set.
Wisconsin looked dominant. I'm going to tell you where this game was won. Experience. You had Brooklyn DeLay and you had Eva Hudson, and they came through when it mattered.
Brooklyn DeLay is the 2024 SEC Player of the Year, and Eva Hudson is the 2025 SEC Player of the Year.
And I'm going to tell you something else that I've noticed about the game, the parity. Like, you look at Thursday night, it was sold out, Brad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was 18,322 people there. This is in Kansas City. Final Four.
Look at Nebraska's fan base. Everybody's thinking, well, they're probably not going to show up because Nebraska's not there because their fan base travels a lot. They were knocked out last week.
Oh yeah.
The parity on the floor last night.
These women
have never been to a Final Four. Volleyball is growing, Brad, and the ratings are getting big.
Women's basketball. People don't realize how big women's sports is getting, to be quite honest with you.
People don't really know, though. Volleyball has really been big in the Big Ten and Pac-12.
Yeah.
That's been
the SEC. This is the first time ever that it's an all SEC. Matter of fact, before this year, the SEC had only made the championship game, I think, 3 times.
And ever. This is actually the first time the national championship will feature 2 SEC schools.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's something new. And ACC has been doing really good as well. Pitt's played really well. Louisville, North Carolina has played pretty good. So the game is getting bigger and better. And I'm going to tell you something as we kind of go off here. The electricity in that building last night for the Kentucky-Wisconsin match and that 4th set was that there was a part in that game where Kentucky, I think, was down. It was a set point, or I think they was down 1. I think it was like 24-23 or something like that. I think
Wisconsin had a couple of match points in set 4.
They did. And Asia Thigpen, shout out to Asia. We had her on our show early in the year. She saved an opportunity for Wisconsin to go to the championship. She just does her job, Brad. She goes out there, she does her game. And then another thing we mentioned was there was a ball hit that me and you talked about last night was at 70 miles an hour. We're not talking about a baseball.
A volleyball coming at you, 71.2 miles an hour. And that come off of Brooklyn DeLay's hand, by the way.
Hey, come on.
Right in that match. I mean, just a bullet right at her, man. I mean, just wow. It was amazing. But I got to give a huge shout out to Eva Hudson here. In that first set, Kentucky looked like just dazed. Like honestly.
They did.
And Eva come out in the second, in the second set, man, and really started the fire late in that match to get Kentucky the 1-1 run there. And if it hadn't been for her, like waking up and coming alive, I'm not sure Kentucky pulls that match out last night.
What's crazy is people don't know that Brooklyn DeLay is from Topeka, Kansas.
Yep. She is like an hour away. She's like an hour away from where they are at Kansas City, to be honest, something like that. And she's a lot of her family and stuff is there for these games. They'll be there Sunday. Watch this, guys. This game is going to be on ABC at 3:30 on Sunday afternoon. Texas A&M versus Kentucky for the national championship.
I'll say this. After Kentucky played that hard and that gritty towards the end, they had the 4th and they had the 5th set. Listen, y'all, I don't know much about volleyball. I know that me and Brad, we cover it, to give the girls attention, girls sports, basketball, volleyball. I've learned some new things. I've learned this year. I've learned what a kill is. I've learned what a dig is. I've learned what a system error, like one of those errors are, like on the with the what is that?
Service error.
Service error.
Yeah,
I'm learning, and I'm trying to figure this game out as quick because it's a fast rising game.
It's a fast-paced game too.
And my 2 baby sisters play this. I don't know if they're playing now, but they played when they was in grade school. But the thing about it is this. As good as Kentucky played in that 4th and 5th set, I think you're going to see a different Kentucky team on Sunday.
I hope so. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to bring something up here, John. So I think part of the reason why, Kentucky has a freshman setter.
Yep.
Her name is
Cassie O'Brien.
Cassie O'Brien. She is the ACVA Freshman of the Year. It was announced a couple of days ago before this game was played last night. She's the Freshman of the Year, the National Freshman of the Year. Okay, so I'm not taking anything away from her. She's played fantastic. Okay, but I thought early in this match yesterday, you could see the nerves. This kid, and I'm calling her a kid, was playing in high school just 8 months ago, 9 months ago. She was finishing up her high school, graduating. She had just finished her season up. She played high school volleyball last year, and she was in the national semifinal game, the Final Four, and I thought she kind of started out slow. I think she was hitting a little bit. I think she wasn't doing exactly what Eva and Brooklyn needs on her sets. Brooklyn likes the ball set higher. Eva likes it a little bit lower than Brooklyn does. And I thought Cassie was struggling a little bit early in this game. But what the wonderful thing is in this volleyball match was that you could see her grow and get comfortable in this match. And by the end of the match, which, by the way, this match was over 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, it was.
By the end of this match, she was playing great, and she was crying at the end of it, which is just, you could see how much it meant to her. And she's a freshman. She's got 3 more years to play, guys.
And I want to say this while we're on the A&M, they battled through 2 5-setters, Brad. They beat Nebraska. They beat Louisville. I'm going to say something. Jamie Morrison is a heck of a volleyball coach.
It's going to be a tough match, man.
Jamie Morrison is a really, really good coach.
Kentucky and A&M did play each other. I'd be amiss if I didn't say this. They did play each other. Kentucky actually beat them in College Station 3-1 in the regular season. So A&M's going to remember that. They're going to be out for blood in this game.
Yeah. And the thing that really made, you mentioned it a minute ago, was, you was talking about Kendall Stowers. She's coming off a career high 25 kills, okay?
Yep.
Like you said, a year ago, she wasn't even playing ball at all. She had 4 concussions at Baylor.
Yep.
It was looking like she was done.
They had told her at Baylor that she medically needed to retire, that she couldn't recover from them.
And now she's probably one of the better players in the country. And she got a chance to win a national championship. Like, so many storylines in this. And I'm going to go ahead and pick mine. I think Kentucky's experience wins this national championship. But I'm going to say something. This is not going to be an easy game.
No, this is going to be a tough one. I'm going to pick the Cats here. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little biased. I do know some of these girls and things, so I'm a little bit biased. But I
will say this.
I think this team is really good.
Pumpkin.
I think this Kentucky team is really good. If y'all watched our shows, our Wildcat Weekly shows this year, you know that I have said I thought this Kentucky team had the talent to do it. There was 1 or 2 teams, 3 or 4 teams, to be honest, that I was really, really worried about.
This was one of them. Yeah.
So
I'll say this. You had that. I always get tickled at that on X. Pumpkin. Pumpkin. I'm telling you, man, people don't understand these girls. They're so tight knit. They're close. They're together. Like, watch the play that Eva Hudson made to put Kentucky. I think it was like 8-2, 9. I can't remember that last set. She was pumping her fist, bumping people. Like, this team wants to win. Like they don't quit. Like
I think Craig Skinner's one of there's a couple of others, the best coaches in the land, to be honest with you, for volleyball. This Jamie guy that you're talking about for A&M is really good as well.
He's your coach.
He
I
is
will
really
say this: we probably won't be back until after Christmas. No, we'll be back Monday.
We might do a Monday show because it's before Christmas. We might do a Monday show.
But after that, we'll probably not do one till Thursday. So,
all right.
I wanted to wish
I'm going to pick the Cats here in this game, to be quite honest with you. I think they're going to bring home the national championship, guys.
I wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas because I forgot we was going to do one Monday, and I'm actually going to the game Tuesday to the Bellarmine game. So,
and I got to get off here because I'm going to Lexington right now here in like an hour. So, to be honest with you, the
Brad,
women.
Thank you. I'm going to the girls. The twins play tonight. They're playing in the Christmas Bash tournament. I'm going to watch them play. You're going to watch the girls play. There's a lot happening this weekend. I'm going Christmas shopping tomorrow. We just wanted to wish y'all a happy holidays and do this early and kind of get the playoff predictions down.
We'll do something with the playoffs next weekend. I mean,
we've really not done a pick'em show like this in quite a while.
Yeah. It's been a little while. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. This has been our Game Day Pick'em show for college football playoffs, and we added some other stuff to go with it.
Get to Lexington.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I hope you guys have a happy holiday.
Have a good one, y'all.